Okay, hello, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to show you the footage from a really fun blitz game I played the other night. The king played a very interesting role, and I just thought this would both be entertaining and somewhat instructive for king activity in the end game. So, roll the clip. Okay, right, 1722, maybe this is doable. They berserked as well. I'm a big fan of that. I got a lot of respect for that. We're going to go here, take my pawn. Here, take my knight. Okay. Interesting. Put the rook on the e-file. Yep. We'll keep this lifted, I think. I mean, I don't really see a reason not to. And then go like this. That was a weird move, actually. I don't know if I like what I just did. Maybe the knight comes here. Okay, my opponent is just trading everything off. Wow. Here and here is kind of a problem. Now my position just looks a little bit better, I think. Threatening to maybe take this knight. Takes. Pawns look horrible. C3, and we're just going to get a super pleasant pawn structure. Okay, that was a terrible mistake, surely. Yes, it's an opposite color bishop's endgame. Now you have to move the rook. I go here. I'm throwing mate. Bishop comes up. I go here. How are you protecting this? Rook here? I'm not convinced, because then I take on here. And this is looking incredibly good for me. And I think... Yeah, okay, now we take here. Hit the bishop. Drops back. I can just do whatever I want, honestly. I'm just going to bring my king in. My opponent's pieces... You know, this piece is not able to move. We're going to bring my king all the way in. That is actually... that is how we're going to do this. H3, G4. That's the plan. Why not? You actually can't bring the king across here. This is ridiculous. Look at this king. What a fool. G4, G5 is going to force it back. This rook is paralyzed here, defending the F7 square. We might as well see resignation. I'm going to go for this anyway. G5, why not? And then... I need to work out exactly how to... Oh, there's a check. We're just not going to allow that, actually. And I'm just going to move with these pawns, I guess. I really don't know what's going on. My opponent's just repeating now. How do I get in? I'm just going to go here. If you want to give me a check, fine. I'm going to sneak in. We're sneaking in with the king. My opponent is oscillating back and forth. Helpless. What am I doing? How is this a game? Here? Oh, and now I take here. That's the plan. Yes. My king has got... This is the most ridiculous game. Takes here. We sacrifice the bishop temporarily, but now we pick this one up. And can take here. Bring the king down. Bring the king down further. Get this. Come up. Run my pawn. Ooh. Here. Here. We're going to sacrifice and just trust the process. Going forward. Yep. Pass pawn. Easy. Easy pass pawn. And I've got 12 seconds to do this with no increment. Should be fine. Oh no, it shouldn't be fine. What? How can I possibly even think this would be fine? For 1 second. Check. Check. Here. 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 Get the king pinned on the back rank. Here. Here. And checkmate. Beautiful. Beautiful stuff. This is some high octane gameplay, I'll be honest. Oh my god. My heart is beating. Okay, so here we are in the analysis of that game. It was 94% accurate from me. I'm not sure if my face cam will be blocking that. But 94%, not too bad. There was a blunder. However, we got that clutch, time finish with only... Let's see, wait, how long was left? Yeah, we had 4 seconds left. Actually, that was plenty of time. What am I even talking about? Right, let's have a quick look at the game. We'll turn the engine on as we do so. And let's turn the Masters database on. So, E4, E5, Knight F3, Knight F6. This is the Russian game, or the Petrov. I go for Bishop C4, the Italian variation. Now, it treats this as an inaccuracy. This is known as the Italian variation of the Russian game, or I believe after here and Knight to C3, the Boden-Kieslowski gambit, or more colloquially, the Frankenstein-Dracula gambit. Very, very fun stuff. It's effectively a reverse Stafford gambit, and after takes here, we would take, and basically you kind of have to play f6 because otherwise knight g5 is a huge problem. You can go for c6, let me take on here, then go d5, but you kind of give back the pawn. It's not as convincing. There is bishop e7 as well, but then this pawn hangs, so the only way to hold on to this pawn in this line and prevent knight g5 is to play f6, which is not a pleasant move. And there's even lines where you there's even lines where if you castle here, I've had games where people try and play c6, immediately you can sack this knight here, and if takes, check, g6, takes, you know, queen here, we pick up a rook. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Very interesting opening. But my opponent instead chose not to accept and instead went back, to which then, of course, we dropped the bishop back, knight to c6, castles, brought the rook to the e-file, and then just decided to pick up the pawn again. Bishop f6, and obviously this is effectively a bullet game. I mean, 1 minute 30 each because we both berserked. I was playing in a tournament. So I just dropped back to e3, trying to keep the rook active. Probably not the best decision because, of course, yeah, there's moves like knight f5, you know, further developing the knight and harassing that rook there. But after rook here, queen e2, fine. Takes, queen takes, and queen takes here. Yeah, I missed this idea to go knight to d5, attacking the queen and the bishop at the same time. And of course, the point is, if queen takes here, then I could take the bishop first, playing a Zwischenzug, or a between move in German. And then after they recapture, we could then take with the pawn. And we have not only got the bishop pair now, but we have completely ruined this pawn structure in an endgame. That's obviously going to be very good for us. And yeah, we will probably just get the bishop out, bring the rook to the f-file, and have a lovely time here. However, I didn't go for that. Instead, I went for... Oh, wait, 1 sec. Let me just see why couldn't the queen have dropped back here. Oh, then I just leave. I just leave all this tension and play d4. Okay, interesting. I mean, I guess my knight's really good here. At any point, I can claim the bishop pair. But yeah, instead, I decided to just trade the queen straight away. I mean, that was a 1 second decision, as you can see down here, 1 minute and 12. Yeah, 1 minute 13 to 1 minute 12. They recaptured. I went for knight d5, best move. Bishop drops back to defend the c7 square, of course. And then we go for d4. b6, bishop f4, best move, ready to take the knight and double the pawns here. And after my opponent fianchettoed their bishop, we took, they took back, and I went for, okay, the computer likes a4 or even g3. I don't really understand g3. Maybe to potentially play f4 and restrict the bishop. Anyway, yeah, I went for c3 to give this bishop a bit of mobility, drop back, secure this as well, and also prevent the c-file from being really a target for my opponent to attack. It is the place where their rook would most naturally find itself situated. And then my opponent played a bad move, which is taking here, allowing me to take here. And they may have thought, okay, opposite colored bishop's endgame maybe could be more drawish, which generally speaking is true. But of course they have to move the rook. Then I went in to here with my rook. My opponent should have come across with the king because letting me in to e7 was not a good idea. And yeah, bishop here, really big mistake. I mean, the bishop didn't even have to go across here. I don't know why they played bishop to c7. I think probably they just wanted to allow the rook more mobility across here. Maybe then play king f8 and rook to e8, trade off, and get into that opposite color bishop's endgame, which would probably tend to be a draw. Like, let's say we saw something like this. If I didn't go for the rook in, we just drop back, king here, like this, here, takes. This is going to be far more drawish. I mean, I have winning chances because of this weakness here, but it's gonna be far more likely that my opponent can draw this game. However, instead, yeah, they let my rook in, and here's a huge problem. We hit f7. We hit the d7 pawn as well. You have to defend f7 because let's say you just defend the d7 pawn here. I can take here. You have to move the king. Otherwise, for instance, if the king doesn't move, we can go check, discovered check, and pick up the bishop afterwards. You know, the king moves, we take the bishop. So my opponent decided to come across instead and defend the pawn. Then I picked this up. They dropped the bishop back, so I didn't take it. And here, this is why I wanted to share this game with you guys. It was only like 3 minutes of footage of actually playing the game, but I did think this was pretty fun in the sense that everything's paralyzed now. The rook has to stay guarding this pawn. The pawn cannot move because it is pinned to the king here. The bishop has no moves because the rook controls either of the potential moves that it would have. This pawn cannot be pushed because the bishop sits here, so the bishop can never come out this way. It's just the most paralyzed position, and this is what you see happen. I mean, I decided to go in with my king, going like this and forcing the king back here. Honestly, I should have realized this whole king walk idea a little sooner, but now my opponent, yeah, this made no sense going back and forth here, but after I, stopped being scared of ghosts with rook to e8, I decided, you know what, we just leg it over here. My opponent literally has nothing better to do. Look, the best computer moves are all moving the king here, or playing, for instance, a6, but then after that, it would just be moving the king because there is nothing to do with the pieces. So, of course, then we can just go in with the king all the way in. beautiful active king, and of course, once we've paralyzed my opponent's pieces, you know, the only discriminating factor is whose king can move, whose king can do damage, whose king is better placed. Keep in mind, I'm only up one pawn here, but now obviously we get this tactic. Not even the best move, but by far the best sort of human move, which is just simplify the game by winning a pawn here, and my king is all the way up the board, like literally all the way. It went all the way over here to b8. They pushed the pawn, takes, walked my king down. I think the engine preferred me going, yeah, the engine prefers d5 here. Oh, which would have been a really nice move actually, yeah, because d5, and then this king will not, oh, sorry. Yeah, d5, and this king will just not get in ever. So, yeah, that was probably a little oversight, but keep in mind I had about 20 seconds left. So instead, I just ran the king down, went, promoted the pawn, sacked the queen, and in a beautiful speed scramble, 10 seconds left, king here, the pawn's pushed, and we go check, pick up the pawn, and then, of course, I just moved the king, and we went check, forced the king to the back rank. This is a beautiful move, keeping a knight's shadow away from the king, very instructive, boxing it in here, so that the only legal move is king to g1, then I can bring my king in, and checkmate. I had checkmate one move earlier, but of course, forgive me, I had 4 seconds, and we can checkmate on g2. So pretty fun game. The fact that the king was able to so freely run over here, yeah, just from f4, it just absolutely, you know, went all the way in here, and yeah, won the game. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll be back with more longer form videos very soon, and yeah, stick around for that. Subscribe, like, comment, all of that. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.